I'm going to show you two very easy strategies for beginners, how they both played out perfectly today on the ES, on the NASDAQ, trading futures. Guys, if you don't understand these two very simple strategies, go ahead and just quit. These are basic day trading strategies for anyone of any skill level. Let's get into it. These two strategies are very common and they are repeatable every single day. There's opportunities to trade the opening range breakout or a gap fill depending on the overnight price action. Let's pull up the charts, my friends. First things first, let's talk about how this gap fill played out. You guys already know that gaps love to get filled. So today we're pulling up the SPY chart. We know that equities don't trade all night long. Futures trade all night long, but the equities don't. So the equities start trading around 4 a.m. and that ends up creating a gap in these ETFs. The SPY ETF is made up of the S&P 500 stocks, and you can see right here opening up. Basically, we look at the close on Friday, and that close on Friday is going to be right here at this level. All right, so that was where we closed at on Friday, maybe actually a little lower there, but in general, there's your close from Friday. Now, what we see here is that we have this gap. It's pretty obvious. What? We have a gap, right? Like you can see that the price action on Friday closed here at the 411 like 50 area. We open up there on Friday at the 412.20. So what do we expect to happen? We expect for the market to move down here. The thing is, I talked about this on Twitter. I posted it on the live stream. This is not in hindsight. You can say whatever you want, but it's not in hindsight. We had this whole entire plan as the market opens. So we're looking for the market to sell off and fill this gap at open. Very simple. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to be able to see this. You just look at the charts and say, hey, look, there's a gap in their chart. So what we're looking for is a couple things. We, number one, know that we're below the VWAP. The VWAP's there at the 412.88. So we're below the VWAP, which is overall kind of bearish. We have a couple things. We have the pivot point here as well. Pivot point at that 411 area. We have the gap fill. So we're just looking for this area to get filled, the market to go lower. So what happens? Guess what? The market opens up. Put this in fast forward here. The market opens up and look at it. We perfectly filled that gap, right? All right, bang. The trade is done. You got the gap fill. It's all played out. Again, this happens all of the time. It happens over and over. Look at this. The market moving all the way down here to the 410s on the SPY. We're trading the ES, obviously. The ES moving down there as well at open. Hey, if you guys want to learn more about day trading, you haven't already hit that like button, subscribe button. We're talking about simple day trading strategies every day right here on the channel, doing it live 9:15 a.m. Tune in. Let's get back into the action. And you can see the move here on the ES perfectly playing out. At open, we got stuck right there, and then all the way from the 44s down to the 33s for a 10-point move. If you're trading one contract, that can be, on the micros, that's a $50 move on one contract. If you're trading the full-size contracts, that's a $500 move, my friends. That's one contract, $500 in profit just from this one move alone. This very simple strategy of what? Filling the gap. It's not rocket science. Don't go and overcomplicate things. The next strategy, again, very simple. We've talked about it here on the channel. How many times have we talked about this strategy? I can't even count how many times now. We made a whole video talking about it as well. So what we're looking for here is what? The 15-minute opening range. So pulling up the 15-minute chart here, you can see pulling up the 15-minute chart, here's our opening range candle, right? Our opening range candle right there. We have our levels. Just to like show you in kind of like a replay mode so you see how it would look when it plays out here. Basically, the market's going to open up here at 9:30. We're going to get these candles printing. Okay, now it's 9:15. Now it's 9:30. There's our 15-minute candle. So what are we looking for? Again, just looking for this opening range. We're just going to draw our line right there. We're going to draw our line right here. Here's our 15-minute candle. Perfect. We know there's a pivot point down there as well. We got all these things to look for in terms of a target. So what are we now looking to do? We're looking to basically see this breakout either to the downside or to the upside. It's not rocket science. Again, don't overcomplicate this stuff. So right now, let's look at this on a smaller time frame. If we go to the 1 minute chart, you can see kind of in this range here. It's now 9:44. So as this next candle closes here, watch how this plays out. Okay, we push up here a little bit. We're getting stuck at that 936, 938 level. We're getting stuck at that 38 level there. The market's trying to pull back. We're gonna test the lows there again. Okay, you can see we're now breaking below the lows. There's a couple ways to play this. You can try to short right when we get below the lows, or you can wait for the candle to close below the lows. So now this next candle is gonna basically close below the lows there. So let's just say, okay, I'm now getting a close there. I'm gonna get short. For example, we did this all live on YouTube, by the way. So now we're short here. We're gonna risk 2.5 for a possible 5-point move. Again, not rocket science. Watch how this plays out. Okay, we're now in the trade. We're short. We're below that support there, below the opening range, and watch it go. We're looking for 5 handles. We're turning that opening range into resistance now. We're still short. We don't have to worry. We have our stop, basically the high of this candle. The market's moving lower, and here we go. Watch. And there we go. We hit our target. Well, we're about to hit our target. This is actually going a little slower than I want, but either way, we're still in the trade. We have not got stopped out. You could have rode this couple like all the way down here, but in general, just kind of showing you guys the idea of trading this opening range. We're hitting that opening range as resistance. You could play it 2 ways. You know, you could wait for this opening range to turn into resistance. You can short the opening range breakdown. I mean, either way, you see now, look, bam, that's 5 points to the downside. This thing goes even lower from there. So there's plenty of potential for profits here, all the way down there to the 25, 23s now. So you get a 10-point move from the breakdown there on that first 15-minute candle, being that 9:30 candle. You can see right there, you have the first 15-minute candle right there at 9:15. Well, you have the first 15-minute candle right there at 9:30. You have the first 15-minute candle that closes there at 9:45. The next candle goes all the way down here to a low of 23.50. So you had a high of 32.75. You had a low of 23. And I think we actually went just a little bit lower before we closed. Yeah, so that next candle, the low was 23 on the dot. So you had a 10-point move there off of that one very simple strategy. That 15-minute candle, getting the opening range, getting the breakdown. We're looking for either the move up, the move down. We had the gap fill. So we had 2 very simple beginner strategies. You have the gap fill, that's very obvious. And then you have the opening range 15-minute candle break down or break up. Don't overcomplicate this. This happens every day. Every day, we're going to get a 15-minute candle to trade. We're going to see the opening range. We're going to be able to see those levels. We're going to be able to see if there's a gap. We're going to be able to know, like, hey, we don't know for sure if the market's going to go up or down, but all we got to do is wait for either a break to the upside, a break to the downside, a possible gap fill, and just trade the action. We don't need to predict the future. We just need to trade what's right in front of us, trading that opening range, 15-minute breakdown, breakup, or the gap fill. I see too many people overcomplicating that. I see too many people overcomplicating trading. They have a million indicators. They have a million different strategies. Guys, these are 2 very beginner day trader simple strategies. And this could be for an expert as well. If you're an expert trader and you just want to trade the first 15, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever it is, you could trade this strategy every day, looking for the gap fill, looking for the possible breakout, breakdown on the opening range on that 15-minute candle. Like, don't go making trading hard. That's what I think the easiest way to think about it. Like, don't overcomplicate it. If it wants to be easy, well, then let it be easy. You know, if the market wants to be easy, make the easy money. Why make it hard? So there it is, showing you guys. These are strategies that we teach here on the channel. We see these strategies repeating. We do them live on YouTube. It's all real. It's all happening. If you guys haven't already hit that like button, subscribe button, you already know what to do. Let's go.